The time has finally come. We have our final project with Ida. It's bittersweet. After 6 months of RV living, we've discovered some mold on our overcab bed. Tag along as we park up in an Airbnb to tackle our last big RV renovation project. Stay tuned to the end to see our dreamy camper loft bed. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Hi there, I'm Elisa. After years in the tech industry, I was exhausted by the pressure. So I quit the capitalist hustle. Now I live in a tiny house with my partner and pup, learning to live simply and stress-free. I share that journey here. Hit subscribe and join us in the slow carve. We are just about over with our renovation. We've got one final spot and it is kind of the most challenging. So we've decided to rent out this beautiful country house to shack up in, free from dust and mold and kind of all the complications, so that we can work on her during the day and then sleep tight at nighttime. Yeah, it's bittersweet. Okay, it's not all bad. So today is our last day of sun before 3 or 4 days of just straight up rain. So we thought we'd soak it up at this beautiful pool here at the rental, and then we'll get to work tomorrow. So until then, vitamin D. After 6 months of living in the RV while we renovate it, today is our final big project. We are making over our bed nook into a cozy, snuggly little space. We're a little bit nervous about what we'll find. There's been a little bit of mold creeping up from the corner of the bed, which is why we've decided to stop and park up at an Airbnb for a little bit. We don't want to be sleeping with our heads right next to mold. It's super dangerous. So I'm going to do it a little bit differently this time. Usually I get to do just kind of a before and after reveal because the projects have already been done. But seeing as we're digging into it today, I'll bring you along for the ride. So let me get changed and I'll take you along.
So, what's behind door number 2?
I'm nervous about this back corner over here because that's where I've seen a little bit of mold. So, dun, 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 dun. Oh, that's filth. Oh boy, I'm nervous. All right, not so bad. The electric. Oh, okay. How's it feel? Alright, hopefully you can hear me through the mask and the wind. So we have pulled everything back now and I'm in the process of doing some bleaching of the plastics that were already existing, and then I'm going to prime it so when we put it back in we can paint it the color that we were going for. While Chris is in there peeling back the kind of rotted wood and getting ready to replace it, and then just prepping the walls for paint. So thankfully this wasn't as gross and as big a situation as the original wall kind of in the living room, which was our first project, but there's still no shortage of work to be done, so gotta get back to it. Alright, we are calling it for a quick lunch. Fajitas. Also, I just realized something really sweet. Our Airbnb we're staying in, a blue colored door, just like what we're painting. Must be meant to be. So it is day 2 of our bed nook reno, and we accomplished a lot on day 1. We managed to get the first and second layer of paint up on the wall. We stripped back all the plastics and got those primed and painted with first layer. So today we're really just finishing up. I'm so excited to finally see like the bed linens in and really get a look of like what the space is gonna feel like afterward. It's so cool. We were talking about last night that after our Airbnb, the first night back in our home, our tiny home on wheels, is gonna be like a whole nother sleeping experience, which is gonna be fun. But yeah, it's a bold color and it's actually expanding the space in the way that we hoped. I was a little bit nervous getting it up on the wall yesterday, but I think it's gonna turn out so good. Can't wait to show you. All right, first look at what this looks like. Love,
Yeah.
how's it going?
Tickety blue.
Is that a Scottish phrase?
You know how tickety blue?
No.
Tickety blue. Tickety blue.
Okay, so day two's plan is to get a second layer on the plastic so we can get the headboard back in place. There's a little bit of electrics involved in that. So that'll probably actually be the most difficult part of the day. Just making sure we don't electrocute ourselves and that we get it hooked up back right. Other than that, we're just gonna do some touch up of the paint, and yeah, super eager to get the bed back up there and have a final look. Moment of truth, ready? Boom! Yay, celebrate! Alright guys, thanks for tuning in this week. Thanks so much for tagging along on our DIY RV remodel. So what'd you think? Don't forget to support your fellow DIY warrior and hit that like and subscribe. Until next time, carvers, stay safe!